So today we're going to talk about the difference between CeFi and DeFi, which is centralized and decentralized um, economics, finance, this centralized and decentralized finances. So centralized finances usually refer to when you have a bank or a central authority that controls the money, controls the currency. And decentralized usually means there is nobody out there to basically to control your assets. You are like the boss of your own money. You are your own bank, basically. So let's take a look at this. So centralized finances are usually built upon these three pillars. Well, not really built on three pillars, but basically you have the a centralized control. You don't really have ownership. I mean, not complete ownership of the money, and you have to trust somebody else with your money. So it's usually a bank or something like that, somebody that or the government. Um, but yeah, your money is not always in your hands. That's basically what it means, and you have to really trust these people, really trust a bank with your savings. Um, these are some of the cons of centralized finances. You don't always know if you can really trust a bank or whoever has your money. There's a lack of ownership. You're not really the one who owns what you have or not completely. And there are certain access barriers, let's say certain part of the world where they don't have banks or these banks are not really trustworthy or a certain person that just doesn't have a certain documents or certain requirements to open a bank account. So there are actually some access barrier for some people when it comes to centralized finances. Let's see. So these centralized finances actually give more power to the people, to you basically. You're your own boss, and you decide what to do with your money, with your cryptos, basically, with your tokens, and who you will send them to. And as long as you have access to internet, you can just um, access decentralized finances. So there's usually this smart contracts. We are the one that process the transactions. These are like coding basically. You send a certain amount of coins, and the smart contracts make sure that these coins or these assets go to the right person, and there's nobody behind them. There's just coding. We are really transparent since every transaction is recorded in the blockchain. And transactions cannot simply be erased. And trading is direct. You set a certain address, and the tokens will go to this person. No ID, no ID checks, no nothing. So, like I mentioned, decentralized finances have many benefits. You have full control over your money, and you can do transactions 24/7 without any restriction as long as you have internet access. Um, certain costs or fees are reduced. Let's say if you are in another country, if you travel to another country outside of Europe, you will usually have to pay fees on on um, on the transactions you do. In this case, for crypto, it's not like that. You do pay gas fees, but they are usually the same wherever you are. And there are certain things you can do with your money that will allow you to earn even more. So let's say, for example, yield farming and flash loans. So those are things you cannot do with regular centralized finances. So in centralized finances, you usually have a lot of control over your money, over your assets, but there is also sometimes also the feeling of comfort. Most of the time, you feel okay with it. You don't think your money will go anywhere, but also you know that in the case, I don't know, the bank just suddenly stop to exist, then you might lose everything. So in the case of decentralized finances, the money is yours, and as long as you're careful with it, it will go anywhere, no matter what. But also you have to be careful with it, because if you messed up, there's nobody there to save you. There is no service client service. So these are two examples. One of centralized finances, Binance, where I mean, it's a trading app, but it's centralized in the sense that once you make an account, you have to Binance with your money. Um, it's different to, for example, and you need to do a ID check and all of that in Binance. In the case of Aave, this is not the case. You don't need any check, nothing. You can just go in, do any transaction you want. You just put your address, and that's it. Completely decentralized. There are certain ethical considerations, like I said before. In the centralized, I mean, in centralized finances, there is always some barriers to certain people. Um, let's say certain people that don't meet requirements for banks to open an account or to transfer money. This doesn't exist in decentralized finances, but also in centralized finances, it's very important to be careful with your money, to know what you're doing, because if you do something wrong, you might lose everything. If you, for example, lose your private key, all your money will be gone. So these are considerations you should take into account. So in conclusion, centralized finances do give you more comfort, but at the same time, you have less freedom with your money and with the things you can do with it. Decentralized finances give you more power. You are your own boss. You are your own bank. But this comes at the cost that you have to be careful with the things you do with your money and with the transactions you do. And it's really important you don't forget your secret key. And I think in the future we'll have a fusion between the security of decentralized finances and um, the flexibility, the security of centralized finances and the flexibility of decentralized finances. And that's it for today. Thank you.